Hi everyone, this is Rochelle again. Thanks for joining me. This is the second video that I am doing in the infant cruise series. In this video, we're going to be doing an overall discussion and going over tips of things that you may not be aware of when you're cruising with infants. So we're going to be discussing just overall things that may help you. First of all, one thing I want to point out is when you and your family are discussing going on a cruise and taking a baby on a cruise for the first time, is make sure you check the guidelines with the cruise company that you are considering going with, because there are age restrictions. Usually most cruise lines like Royal Caribbean and Carnival require that your infant must be at least 6 months of age to be able to cruise. But every cruise line does have different age requirements. Disney has different requirements. So make sure you do pay attention to that when selecting the cruise that you want to go on, that you check with that company first. Second thing, when you are considering what ship to travel on, make sure that they have a pool for a baby. A lot of the cruise ships do not have baby pools. So if that's something that is important to you and your family, make sure that you pick a cruise line like Disney or some of the Royal Caribbean ships that do have baby pools that they can wear swim diapers in to splash and play around in. Another thing that you want to do in advance is most cruise lines carry cribs or pack and plays, as we call them. Make sure you tell your travel agent or your cruise line representative directly that you need a pack and play or crib for the room, because they don't usually keep them on the ship, so you have to order them in advance. So make sure you tell them that you need one, and that way it'll be set up in the room for when you arrive. Another thing is in some of the cruise lines like Disney and Royal Caribbean, you can in advance pre-order baby diaper supplies and baby food. Royal Caribbean, you can order Huggy diapers and Gerber baby food in advance, and it will be delivered directly to your room. The only downside of that is it is very expensive, and if your baby doesn't use Huggy diapers or Gerber food, then that's not going to help you. So you may want to just consider bringing your own supplies with you on board. And in the other video, I did discuss some of the different supplies that you can bring. Another thing, when you are choosing the company to sail with, check out the children programs that they have on board. Disney has a lot of programs for babies and toddlers on board, and also Royal Caribbean has the Royal Babies and Toddlers program on board. For the babies, you usually do have to pay $6 to $8 per hour for the service though, but if you provide them diapers and wipes and snacks, they will give that to your infant. Also, another thing, Royal Caribbean has a toy lending program. So if you are cruising on Royal Caribbean on select ships, they do have a toy lending program that is free, and you can change out different bags of toys throughout your cruise, and your baby can play with different toys. So that's great. And another thing to keep in mind is when you drop your baby off with the babysitter in the nursery there, it's usually with Royal Caribbean, it's usually one attendant per every 2 to 3 babies is what I have been told. And when you drop them off, they give you a phone. And if by chance, after a period of 15 minutes, if they can't calm your baby down and soothe them, they will call you on your phone and have you come pick your baby up. So that is a great service that they do have. Also, they do offer, Royal Caribbean and other cruise lines They do offer in-room babysitting. It is a lot more expensive, but they can babysit multiple children in your room. So if that's something that you're interested, make sure you call your cruise line representative and inquire about that. Also, something that a lot of people discuss is whether if they should, bring a baby or small children with them on a cruise because they think it may not be relaxing or they may not enjoy it. Well, I'm here to tell you that honestly, cruising is the best way to vacation with a baby. Because keep in mind, whether you're gone for 3 nights, 4 nights, or 7 nights, you're not having to drive, you're not having to cook, you're not having to do laundry. So that there is a vacation in itself for a lot of parents. So make sure, when you go, if it's your first time going with your baby, and if you feel a little intimidated or uncomfortable, maybe you could ask your parents or in-laws to go with you, and you can get connecting cabins. And the one positive thing about if you get connecting cabins, is that you can leave that middle door open the whole time if you want at certain times. And if you and your spouse want to go out for a drink or dinner, for an hour or two, the other people in the adjoining connecting cabin can watch your baby if they're taking a nap or sleeping late at night in the pack and play while you're out relaxing. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. So don't be intimidated by that. You can do it, and it can be a fun and relaxing experience. Also, one thing, I may have mentioned this in my previous video, is make sure your documentation that you have for your baby, make sure you keep all of your documentation in your carry-on luggage or in a bag on yourself. Papers, make sure you have your passports, birth certificates for your infants. And also another thing is you may be required to get a signed letter from your infant's pediatrician saying that they need, bottled water and formula and snacks and food and juice that you can bring on board. Because from my personal experience, when I called Royal Caribbean, I was told by 2 representatives and 1 supervisor that I would have to get a signed letter with both mine and my spouse's name on it and my child's date of birth, and being specific of what all he needed to bring. So keep that in mind. Contact your cruise line, ask them about that. You may or may not be required to bring a letter with you when you are bringing all the supplies that you need for your baby. So overall, I hope some of these tips have been helpful, but just keep in mind, plan in advance, and everything usually goes fine. Also, just let you know, there's ship doctors on board, so if you ever have any concerns while you're on board regarding your infant, you can take them to be seen. And just make sure you bring everything with you that you may need while on board. And just if you have any questions, you can contact your travel agent or your cruise company directly and speak with a representative, and they can answer any questions that you may have. But definitely, when going on a cruise, make sure you think and research first about the age requirements. Check out their nursery programs, and if they have baby pools on board, and check out the supply options. But I hope this video has been helpful, and feel free to leave any comments or questions, and I will be happy to help where I can. But thank you guys, and I hope you guys have fun planning a vacation with your infant.